It's your boy Smiley Jizzle and my man's
Chris O.D.
And we here. We got some shit for y'all today. So it's a few things, like crazy shit that's going on. Good shit. Shit I've observed over the past few days. And some sports shit. I don't really talk about sports too much, but I kind of want to tap in on some shit because I know there's some shit that goes on in sports that we don't really talk about that affects us racially too. So I want to tap into that.
Shout out to Deion Sanders.
Shout out to Deion Sanders, for real. And shout out to Dr. Umar Johnson, man. He's doing big things. His school is almost complete. Probably in a couple years it'll be opening, or by next year actually. I think he said it'll be opening. So that's good news. Like he actually
they don't
doing
want
something.
They don't want him to do that.
He gonna do it.
He gonna change the world.
I wanna do whatever I can to support that. If I have any kids, I'm gonna try my best to get my kids to go to that school. Absolutely.
He's gonna change the
Absolutely.
world with that shit. He's gonna have a lot of devils trying to sabotage that school.
Nigga, I definitely support that. That's a big move for our culture. Believe 100%. It is. Since 1957, look that up. I mean, it's a big move for our culture and education. But we gonna get to it.
On the move like I need a new hobby. Fuck a 9 to 5.
So, first of all, I don't really talk about sports, so ladies probably not gonna really enjoy this episode too much, but this is gonna be highly interesting and very insightful. Because even though I may not know everything about sports, I know enough to analyze and be a good analyst for the sport from a spectator and playing sports. So, without further ado, so first off, shout out to Deion Sanders. Big move, big move. Shout out to Dr. Umar Johnson. Big move, big move. When we talk about our culture, right, we don't never really give ourselves flowers like we should. Like our own people, like it's so many issues. Like I've been watching Dr. Boyce Watkins and what's his name, Claude Anderson, and these are older, like activist type individuals, and they want to push this, not a black supremacy movement, but a black understanding movement. To know who you are, know where you come from, and know how valuable you are. You're just as valuable. Like they say, like all lives matter or Black lives matter or whatever. It's not really that. It's just like every other race of people that's identified as what their actual ethnicity is and not their color. They actually know about their culture. They actually care about their culture. They actually support their culture. And somewhere along the lines, like with all the stuff that's probably happened to us that some of us aren't aware of, we really lost sight of that. And we don't really care about our culture as much as we should. Even to the point, our history, our heritage is trying to be taken out of the school systems. So this all goes into like this whole like.
It's never been in the school system. Like
it was to a certain extent.
African American studies was a joke.
Everything that we need to know about our country, we don't.
Everything we learned about African American,
we're not gonna learn anything about it. Versus
this is what I'm saying. Everything we learned about African American history was based off of slavery.
Yeah.
Everything.
But you gotta know the good with the bad. You gotta understand all that.
There's no good with that.
It's not really a breakdown.
Let me tell you why there's no good with that. Because the true story is we were gods and goddesses. So when you go from a god and goddess to a slave, it's like, okay, now that makes sense why we're hated just because of the color of our skin. It's deeper than that. Nigga, do you know the value in melanin?
Yeah, but before
there's a number value to this.
But before we go down that, but before we go down that hole, let's understand whose system we're in. You understand? So that's what these individuals highlight, that we have to have empowerment within ourselves and understand, like, you need to love thy enemy.
All they had to do is make us forget that we was gods and goddesses, and now we fear men.
But let's not forget. Let's understand who we are and our place in society. So what these patriarchs are trying to do, they're trying to continue to push our culture and get us what we're entitled to, what we should have to get our land.
I think they're trying to change our culture into just
Who's
hip-hop.
trying to change our culture?
The same people that Kanye is talking about is trying to change our culture into making it just be about some hip-hop shit. So now when you think about black culture, you can't separate, just hip-hop. Like, black culture...
Oh, no, not the Untouchables. I'm not talking great about them. I'm talking about Claude Anderson, Umar Johnson, those individuals, Deion Sanders, those individuals.
So
what
when you're
they're
talking
doing, I'm talking about what they're doing to help our culture, continue to push our culture. Let's acknowledge the good that we are trying to do.
So you're talking about the culture now.
I'm talking about the culture now.
Gotcha.
And it's a lot of things that we don't do as people from our culture to support each other when we're making these moves and making these decisions. Because there's one thing that I've said before, is that everybody's not fit to be a leader. And we could all be leaders, but because of, the expectation of responsibilities and stuff that you have to do, a lot of people don't want to do it. So like, some people would rather follow than lead, and that's fine. But what I always said is that we should have somebody that we can follow. Like, I wouldn't mind following somebody if they weren't following.
Bro, they killed them.
What I'm saying?
How many times?
So we're gonna
check this out.
So we're gonna live in fear.
It's not even living.
Or we're gonna protect each other.
It's not even living in fear.
Okay,
it's
what is it?
Literally like, okay, if the same thing keeps happening, do we keep doing it,
Yes.
or do we change?
Don't stop.
That's
Keep fighting.
That's
because if you give up, you'll still be slaves. If Harriet Tubman didn't decide to run away and stayed there with all the people that wanted her to stay there because she was afraid of getting caught and getting killed, then we would never be free. We would never have the opportunity to even want freedom.
She didn't do that for the same result. She did that for a different result.
She did it for freedom.
Yeah, she did it
what
for
do we want?
a different result.
We want freedom.
But what I'm saying to you
what
I'm saying to you is she didn't do anything that anybody else was doing. You see what I'm saying? She did something different for different results. And what you're saying is you're doing the same thing for different results, and I don't believe in that. I don't believe you can change anything by doing the same thing you've been doing, and you see it doesn't work.
What is the same thing that we've been doing?
The same thing we've been doing.
We needed to build institutions, and we haven't been doing it because we're afraid that they're gonna burn our shit down.
The same thing.
We fight for what we want.
I'm gonna let you finish. You finish?
We fight for what I'm saying that because
the same thing we've been doing was relying on one person to change the narrative and act like that person wasn't gonna get killed if he built.
Why we keep being afraid? Why we keep saying that?
Because that's what we see.
Okay, but we understand that this could happen. And that's why I said everybody's not built to be a leader. So if you're afraid that this is gonna happen, then don't go for that position. But somebody's gotta have the heart to be like, yo, you know what? Fuck what's gonna happen by any means necessary. I might die. But if I die, my message is gonna be out there. And I got somebody right there behind me that if I die, they're gonna step up and continue with the mission.
Or
what?
Or we can have people that's in charge that doesn't get all of the clout to be in charge. We could have certain codes for going, like we have to
like sleeper cells.
No, we got to treat this shit like it's the Underground Railroad over again, but it's just you know what I'm saying?
So sneak and do it. Like
you have to.
So instead of being and what you're saying is chess. It's I understand you trying to make a strategy to it, but what I'm saying is these things are gonna happen. It's gonna be inevitable. People are gonna die. You're gonna have collateral damage. Regardless of which way you choose.
You have to do it in a way where you haven't done it before.
You could try. Okay.
You gotta learn from your mistakes.
Strategy is awesome.
And learn
I'm just saying. I'm not saying to just go in there like, yo, guns are blazing. But I'm just saying, you have to stand for something or you'll fall for anything.
100%.
So go for it. Try to do it. Fail. And somebody else could figure out how to pick up for it.
Yeah.
Now, don't repeat your past mistakes because those are lessons. You know what I mean? You need to learn from that. But what I'm saying is there needs to be, okay, we know what the Black Panther Party was. We could still have something like that, but we could do it, like you said, we could have some type of communication where it's shared, through some type of secret way.
It can't be mainstream.
And we understand it.
As soon as it's mainstream, what mainstream
Unless
is,
we have,
check this out.
We have tech to create our own shit.
Yeah,
so let's
check this
do it.
out. But we don't own the mainstream. We don't own the media. So we're always going to be painted as the bad guy.
We could make our own.
So check this out.
Shit.
Hold on. Before you talk about making our own shit, I'm just talking about realistically us in America, right? If we are, let's say, we have some rebellion, right? And then if we go the route of fuck it, we're just gonna let everybody know, we're gonna get everybody on board. You see what I'm saying? And we're loud with it. Me personally, I don't think that's the best plan of action in the place that we are in now. Why? Because the media is always gonna use that to manipulate it like, oh, these motherfuckers is radicals. That's why they even did that shit with the Black Panthers.
Right.
It was like, oh, fuck these niggas. Even though they're doing good for their community, we don't like that they're standing up for themselves because now they got guns to police officers and they're not scared. So what if all of them decide to be on this militant? They might take the fuck over. And the government thought it was that much of a threat to say, you know what, we're gonna shut these people down, and not only shut them down, but label them as terrorists to the United States.
What if I told you they already got organizations like that that's Black? Militant organizations.
That's beautiful. But the fact that we don't know about it is because of hold on. No. The fact that we don't the fact that it's not that mainstream and out there is because we learned from the past.
Now some people that's in that group with those individuals, they may be like non-violent, but they non-violent with they M4s and they non-violent with their AR-15s or whatever, and they standing militant, walking down the street with their shit in an open carry society.
I don't believe in non-violence versus violence though. Like I'm not one of them niggas. It's not violence.
It's not violence until you pull a trigger. You have a gun. Showing somebody that I have a gun is not violent. I don't pose a threat until I pull the gun out and I try to shoot you. If you think if it scares you because I have one, then I'll put it away. But if you see the gun, I'm not a threat to you. I'm not a threat to anyone. This is to protect myself. That's what it's for. If you're of no harm to me, then there's no reason for you to even see it, and I wouldn't even have it out. Like if I have my gun or some shit, I wouldn't have it out so people could see it. You know what I mean? Like my shit would be concealed, like it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is, you would have that. What up? You would have that for the purpose of, like I said, protecting yourself. You know what I mean? No other reason to do it. But that's what I'm saying. Like if Black people stood up for themselves and was like, yo, like we gonna support each other, we gonna protect each other, we're not gonna let nothing happen to our brothers and our sisters, whatever. If we was on that type of shit, then motherfuckers won't fuck with us. They don't fuck with the Arabs. They don't fuck with the Chinese people. They don't fuck with they fuck with us because we don't give a fuck what happens to us. We point our fingers at each other instead of saying, yo, like this happened.
So when you say motherfuckers wouldn't fuck with us, what do you think would be the result if Black people just started working together and what I'm saying? Harmony in United States.
It should be, because there's other groups. Like it's the United States. Like it's not like this is not. We're all Americans at the end of the day.
So you don't think it's more special for Black people who are thought to be the most divided people to come together? You just think it's just gonna be some regular shit like the other races when they come together?
I think it's gonna be crazy. Because so many of us.
So why is it gonna be
a-
crazier than if black people got together?
I just told you, because there's so many of us. Like we were here for a long time. So it's a lot of us here.
But there's a lot of Spanish people. Let's say Spanish. Would you consider Spanish people together or Latino?
But what's the number of
A lot.
Spanish versus the number of African Americans in this country?
In America?
Yeah, in
I
America.
don't know. It's close.
Could be.
I'm pretty sure it's close.
It could be.
Cause you got to think, like Mexico was there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not Mexico. Cali was there before America shoved them out.
Right.
So at the end of the day, there's a lot of fucking. There's natives. That's Latino. There's fucking South American. All under that, like you can consider a lot of the Jamaican people Caribbean Latinos because it's down there near the equator or after the equator in the Caribbean and shit. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them motherfuckers are speaking Spanish below them lines and shit. I know we got a Spanish town in Jamaica, so you know what I'm saying? Pretty sure Spain had a hand in a lot of that shit.
I mean, shit. America's named after Americo Vespucci.
Vespucci, yeah, he's an Italian man, right?
Spanish.
He's from Spain?
Spain.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so is Africa. Africanas, see shit.
Yo, I was thinking about that the other day.
It
Yo,
wasn't
are
called
all the countries a woman's name?
America, Africa. No, Africanus was a man, and Amerigo Vespucci was a man.
No. The name America is a female name. So I'm like Africa as a female name. Are all the countries like a female name?
Yeah, because it's like Mother Earth. So
crazy.
the lands would be feminine, I guess.
Yeah, Russia.
You know what I'm
Mother
saying?
Russia.
Yeah.
That's
The
crazy,
motherlands.
bro.
It's the motherlands. It's fertile lands. If you have male lands, it's not fertile. I mean,
That's deep, bro.
yeah, that's just wild, right?
Yo, so Shannon Sharp and Skip had a fall off.
Skip. What do you say, Skip? What do you say, Skip?
Yo, my nigga,
Skip.
the shit is fucked up, right? Because Shannon Sharp, he got a couple Super Bowls on his belt. You know what I mean? He's a champion, Hall of Famer.
He really be out there. He be in the trenches.
Right. So like,
Skip.
for you to denounce his shit is like some grimy shit, bro. Like, it's like, yo, like that nigga deserves all his flowers, bro.
At the end of the day, bro, that like certain people had that look to them, like they just not like nice people. And Skip Bayless is one of them niggas, man. Like he has that like very judgmental vibe on him. Like, you know what I'm saying? He not gonna give it up just easy. He just gonna make it difficult. Like,
Right.
that shit crazy, bro. I don't know.
Nigga Skip been around, bro. He been around. He been around for a while.
I think sometimes it's just time. Like, you can't just stay on a platform with somebody else. That's why even Stephen A. He was with Max Kellerman, remember?
Yeah.
And then he was like, all right, nah, you know what I'm saying? This is enough.
And then he was with Skip before.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, yo, you gotta keep it fresh by just switching it up. And then maybe it was just time, bro. But he did my boy dirty because he really thought that he was cool with the niggas.
Straight disrespect to him. He should apologize to him. What do you think?
He's not going to.
I know he's not, bro. He should.
The day Skip Bayless apologize to Shannon Sharp is the day Vlad will apologize to Louis Farrakhan, Honorable Minister.
Vlad said something crazy about the minister?
Yeah. He put a lie on him. He said that Louis Farrakhan was killing Jews, or he was like, oh, he said he was stoning Jews. He was to stone Jews. He didn't say that. He was quoting a Bible, or I think he misquoted him basically. And the Muslims was like, nah, you gotta apologize, bro. You're not going back on your platform until you apologize, and we never did.
Yeah.
And that's why, what's her name don't go up there no more? What's her name? Godfrey and Lord Jamar. Remember, they used to be up there all the time. It's like, oh, you ain't gonna apologize, big dog? You got it wrong, you ain't gonna apologize. You said it publicly, but you're not gonna apologize publicly.
Right.
Okay. Hey, stop fucking with him. You know, Vlad don't give a fuck. It's ego, bro. Like, motherfuckers got ego. They can't apologize. Like, oh, nigga, let's speak about that, nigga.
Okay.
My fucking former supervisor. The nigga that got a whole case. Shout out to you if you watching, because you say you be watching. You say you don't watch because we smoke a lot. Yeah, well, we do, but this one's for you. You know what I'm saying? Nigga gonna talk about the podcast, talk about he doesn't watch it, but he knows what we doing up there on it. That didn't make sense. And I meant what I said. I felt like karma is a bitch. I felt like he was fired. He fired me and then tried to act like I quit. And then they rehired me, fired him off of a sex offender charge. He's fucking the co-worker, and she's saying, oh, well, it's because he threatened my job. And that's all she had to say. That's all she had to say. Now you got a charge. You lost your situation, and I don't know. Like I was like the nerve of this dude to come here and still try to talk subliminal. Like, bro, we rappers.
Right.
That's what we do. We talk slick. We talk subliminals. We know when somebody's trying to give us a backhanded compliment or whatever. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm just glad that I got to tell him to not come back down here. You know what I'm saying? But it's crazy how. Matter of fact, I'm not even gonna say that part because that might be incriminating, and I don't want to be up here Charleston White niggas. So, yeah, man, it's just funny how life plays out sometimes. You know?
Shit. Shout out to oh shit, drop one of my drinks.
Yeah.
Yo, shout out to people though. Real shit. You know
Shout out to good people.
Shout out to good people, bro. Yo, but Dr. Umar, he made a school, you know what I mean? Or is making a school right now in the works. And he said something crazy.
What he said?
Not crazy. I'm not even too crazy.
Before you get into that, how do you feel about Dr. Umar? Do you think he's legit? A lot of people are saying that he's getting a lot of money for the school, but he's not really showing any progress. What do you think?
I'm gonna say we'll see. You know what I mean?
Do you give it a deadline though? Because if you don't give it a deadline, then
I could say like within the next 5 to 10 years, we'll see something happen.
You think it's gonna be 5 to 10 more years?
I don't know.
That's too long.
Because like you got also think about it.
My
like,
daughter will be out
a lot of people.
The school system.
A lot of people don't want this shit. A lot of people don't want this shit to happen. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, that's true.
So
it's gonna be
that's the thing. So they're gonna put it off and put it off and put it off. But once it's won, it gives the opportunity for others to be creative.
So you believe his intentions are good?
I believe they are good. I mean, it's something. It's one step in the right direction. We have to have more institutions of color and to be able to support ourselves.
I do believe that Brother Umar has good intentions for our race and our people and shit.
Yeah.
I think sometimes he might not have the best or most comfortable. Well, I can't even say comfortable because it's not really about comfort, it's about change.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of change ain't comfortable, especially the change that you really want to make into being successful or whatever.
Right.
But I don't know, man. I just feel like I might not agree with like 100% of everything that he's saying, but I agree with at least more than 80.
Oh, nah, that's crazy.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Brother Umar, man. I feel the same way about Kanye.
This is weed.
Yeah. Yo, Kanye be saying some crazy shit.
Yeah, but sometimes like you just gotta articulate it better and then it makes sense.
Right.
Most times I'll say. Sometimes you just gotta articulate it better. Cause yo, Kanye remind me of a lot of other Geminis. Like if you're a Gemini, you could, especially a June Gemini, you'll probably understand like why he does what he's doing.
So, do you know the stuff that he's planning on putting in the school? Like,
Who, me? Nah, not really, to be honest with
he said he gonna have like financial education,
See, that's big.
learning how to do like data and statistics. He said it's gonna be fucking weapons class.
So weapons, that's big too.
He said they're gonna have an agriculture class.
That's big too.
They're gonna have to have 1 year
Teach you how to-
agriculture before they graduate.
Nigga, teach you how to farm some land.
Yeah, and everybody has to grow food to graduate.
Bro, you right. It's gonna take a while before they implement that shit.
That'd be crazy though, man.
It's gonna
That'll
be a
change.
while.
That'll change the
It's gonna
fucking
change
world,
the world,
bro.
my nigga. It's gonna be a while.
Change the fucking world, bro.
Like, that's just crazy. I think he should start like on. He shouldn't start in American soil, bro. I think he should go somewhere else because America's not gonna let that shit fly. And I think other countries, he'll probably have it, like in Africa somewhere.
They said it's real good. It's real good. Real estate in Uganda.
Or maybe even in Jamaica. Like put, you know what I mean? Clothes. I don't know, man. Figure it out.
You learned anything new about the Megan and Tory shit? The little trial.
The more I hear it, the more I feel she lying, bro. She lying, bro. Her friend, Tori ain't shoot her friend shot her. I had to check this girl on IG. I think it was yesterday. It's like, it's so crazy how men don't be protecting black women and all this other shit. I was just like, yo, I'm not protecting a liar. Like, since when do you have to protect liars? And you know they're lying to you. And you just gotta be protected just because she's a woman. Bullshit. It's 2022, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not saying chivalry is dead, but it's equal. It's not dead, it's equal now, so, you know what I mean? What are you doing? What are you doing, shorty? I don't know.
Like when you open the door for her, is she gonna open the other door to let you in the
That's
car?
what I'm saying, like
is she gonna be on that?
if that's what it is, if it's not that, and we're going down a traditional route, how traditional are we talking? Like traditional, like you don't talk back type shit. Like tradition, like the meals is cooked every time niggas come. Like what are we talking about? If we can't do modern and we can't do traditional, we can't do anything.
She don't gotta be no slave. You know what I mean?
I mean, she don't gotta be no slave.
But don't be an asshole.
But this is what I'm saying,
You know?
bro. You heard Michelle Obama say it best. She was like, married sometimes for 10 years. She didn't fuck with Obama. For 10 years. She ain't fuck with her husband. She said it be like that sometimes. Shitting me? For 10 years?
That's a long time.
You won't fuck with your husband? She was like, yeah, that was really around the time that she was having kids. Why? What about the kids that changed? You see what I'm saying?
Raising the children, but she still was supposed to make time for him. But I don't know. That's crazy. That's a conundrum.
I mean, I don't know, man.
Now, would you say she's a writer though? For still like shit,
100%.
you're not happy.
100%.
You know what I mean? But you still there.
100%. 100%. Because most chicks would have left. Oh, I ain't happy. I'm out. So she's a writer. But this is what I'm saying. Like, that's what we're dealing with. Most women is like, I'm not dealing with that. I'm not gonna hate my nigga for like 10 years and be with this nigga, still give him pussy, still provide for this nigga my wifely duties, and then I don't like this nigga for 10 years.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But
that nigga the president though.
Yeah, exactly. For all we know,
Definitely.
Michelle might have had some secrets of her own that, you see what I'm saying? We might not. We were like, oh shit, Michelle was doing this on the side. We didn't even know about that shit. You see what I'm saying? People tell you what they want you to hear on when the camera's on.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So you never know. And I wouldn't put it past. It's like conspiracy theories around Michelle and Obama. So I wouldn't put nothing past nothing. She a writer though.
Fucking I got another thing I did want to discuss though. You being a father and all. How do you feel about this topic?